last subchapter of chapter 77.7. We did this craziness in class. A lot of information, this subchapter, very easy subchapter. Okay, I went ahead and I have everything plugged into my calculator already, so you don't have to look at me as I do that. Because as we are on page 445 and we did this in class, we have an Eastern Conference and a Western Conference that talks about basketball, and there's a lot of free throw percentages into that information. Okay, the ones of you that play basketball, you know exactly what this is talking about. I have no clue. But anyways, there's you have your two tables there. And we're going to do statistics and statistical graphs, which means we're going to learn about different things, what they're called, and what are their value. And there's a hard way to find this, and there's an easy way to find that. And the easy way is the calculator, and we're going to use it. You already should have this plugged in into your calculator, because this is the last thing you did with me in class, and you had it plugged in before you came in. So I went ahead to stats. I went ahead to my edit, and my list 1 and my list 2 are in there. Okay, we put L1, and believe it or not, there's 58 values on L1 and there's 59 values on L2. Okay, so we had a lot of work to do to plug all of these numbers in. Now let's talk about some concepts. Mean. What is a mean? A mean is the average, which means we would have to add all of those numbers from Eastern Conference, and then we divide by how many numbers are there. So all of that sum going to get divided by 57. That's how many there are in the first thing, right? That's a lot of adding to do, and chances are you're going to miss a number. That's why we don't need that, because if we go to stats and we go over to calc and we just use your option 1, but then it's going to ask you, do you want me to do the one variable stat? And I said yes. But I also have to tell it, I'm curious about my Eastern Conference only. So then I'm going to go second L1, right? I want you to find all that for my list 1. How did we do that? Second, and on top of 1, you have an L1. And now I hit enter. And it's going to calculate everything I need. That first value, that X with the line on top of it, is my mean, and that's going to be 68.9 or approximately 69 if we're going to round it out. My mean is 69. We're going to go ahead and write it out. Now, what's the median? The median is the number right smack in the middle of that list of numbers. Okay, so if I have 57 numbers and I have to divide that by 2, I get a 28.5, which means I have 28, then 28. The 29th number is my median. It would be crazy to count by hand. I don't need to. If I keep going down in here, when I get to the med, that's my median. It tells you what my median is. It's 69. When I write this, 69. They don't always coincide. This just happened to be a coincidence. They don't always are the same. The mode represents the number that repeats itself the most. This we don't have a shortcut with a calculator. We have to look at that list on the Eastern Conference, and really the thing that should jump at you the most is number 63. If you look at them, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We have 7 of 63. So my mode is 63 because 63 repeats the most. We have it 7 times. Now, I'm going to move on to all of the information we can pull off this calculator for the Eastern Conference. We'll come back and do the Western Conference. Not only do we find this, but we also find what is the range. Okay, that's the next thing that we're going to learn. And the range is basically what is the smallest number, what's the biggest number, and what's the difference in between them. That's the range. It starts at where, it goes to where. So if I look at my thing, there's a very easy way to find the range. The smallest number is 46. The biggest number is 100. 100 minus 46, my range would be 54, right? Also, in your calculator, if we move a little bit down, there's my minimum, there's my maximum. They tell me what my minimum and maximum are, so I can go 100 minus 46 is 54. So this is 100 minus 46, which is 54, okay? And we found the range. What about the standard deviation? Standard deviation describes the typical difference between the mean and a data value. It's a lot of words that don't mean much, other than, again, if I go up on what they gave me, my standard deviation has a funny little symbol there. That's called a sigma. Sigma of x. And that is 12.3. So for this conference, my standard deviation is 12.3. And that's all of the information I can get from here for my Eastern conference, right? Now let's find the exact same information for my Western conference. I'm going to go back to stats. I'm going to go over to calc. I said I want those one variable stats, but I need my L2. L2 is right on top of 2. I need to do second and L2. And I'm going to tell it, now give me all that info about my second list. And here it is. First thing, my mean is 70.8. So it's about, well, they didn't round this one. 70.8 is my mean, right? I need to know my median. If I go down until I read the words med, my median is 71. That's the middle number. My mode, I don't know. We don't have a shortcut on the calculator, but I look at all of these numbers and I notice that 66 repeats 4 times. Not only that, so 66 repeats 4 times. There's nothing that repeats 5 times. So 4. Then I also have 70 that repeats 4 times. If I look at 71 repeats 4 times. And then if I look at that list again, 74 repeats 4 times. So my mode is more than one number. 66, 70, 71, and 74 represents, all 4 numbers represents my mode. Okay, so if you get 2 numbers that repeat the same number, we use both of them. Now, we need the range. The range is pretty easy. The lowest number is 36. The biggest number is 100. 100 minus 36 is 64. The other way to look at it again, remember they give you the min and they give you the max. 100 minus 36 is 64. We have 100 minus 36 is 64 is my range. My standard deviation, if I just go back up, is that little funky thing, sigma, right there. 11.7 is my standard deviation. I always round to 1 decimal. So really, after the only hard work that was here was putting all that information in, right? And that's how we find all of these using our calculator. Now, we also learned about what is called a box and whisker plot. Again, this comes all from the calculator. We're going to do one for the Eastern conference. We're going to do one for the Western conference. And we said, I'm going to have to go back. Well, I'm going to do Western conference because I have all of my information here, right? The way we do this is we have a line, a number line. We're going to first plot the minimum and the maximum. The minimum in this case is 36. The maximum is 100, right? The next thing we want to plot in is my median. My median is 71. 71 is a little bit closer to 136. I'm going to put it about right here. 71 is my minimum. And also, we have the 2 things that we call the lower quartile and the upper quartile. They're given to you by Q1 and Q2. And how do you know which one is the lower? The lower is the smaller number. The upper is the bigger number. I get a 64, which is right here, and a 76, which is right here. I plot all of them in. I can bring my box down. Here's my box, right? Here's my median, and here's my whiskers. They go all the way to my minimum and my maximum, right? That's what I did here. This is my box, and I noticed that they put the dots here. I'm going to do it too. Okay, let's do the Eastern Conference, which means I have to go back to stats, back to calc. I want that, but I want it back to my L1, right? Because that's my Eastern Conference. Again, we're going to come all the way down to get my min and max. This is the line. If you work this with me, my minimum is 46. My maximum is 100. My median is 69, which is going to be closer to 46 this time, right? My lower quartile is 61. My upper quartile is 78.5. That's all I need to do. Okay, so my box is made in between my lower and my upper quartile. My median comes right in here. And my whiskers extend to my minimum and my maximum, right? They have a line that comes down here. It's the same to me if you do the line or don't do the line. But this is your box and whiskers, right? The last thing that we are going to do in here is making those histograms. And that is, first we have to build that frequency distribution. So, how do I do this? Again, Eastern Conference, Western Conference. We're going to go, how many values do I have in between 30 and, is it 30 to 40? Yes. 40, 41 to 50, 51 to 60, 61 to 70, 71 to 80, 81 through 90, and 91 through 100. And I need to know how many values do I have when I look at those tables. If I go back to this, I'm looking in between 30, this is 31, not 30, sorry. I have 0. There's no scores, no percentages in here. 41 to 50, I count the numbers. 46, 47, 48, 50, 50, and 50. I have 6 of them, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The frequency is 6. Or you can just write 6. It doesn't matter. You don't necessarily need to do the whole thingy. In between 51 and 60, if you count them, we have 7. In between 61 and 70, we have 16 percentages. 71 to 80, we have 17 percentages. I'm not going to have room to graph this, will I? Dang it. We're going to do Eastern Conference first. 81 to 90, we have 8. And then 91 to 100, we have 3, okay? Now I have to draw my histogram. Not that hard. Remember, this is 1, 2. Well, let's do this by 2. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, okay? And now I'm going to make my little intervals. This is 41 through 50, okay? 51 through 60, 3, 4, 5, 6. How many do I have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm not going to write them all. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You know how they go. And now I'm going to go, how many did I have in here? I had 6. So this is a block that goes all the way to 6. In between 51 and 60, I had 7. So it's going to go a little bit higher, right? In between 61 and 70, I had 16. I have to go all the way up here. I really missed a good chunk of it. The next one is going to be 17, so only half of it up. The next one is 8. It comes all the way to here. And the next one is 3, which is in between 3 and 4 right here. And I have done my histogram, right? And again, 61 through 70, 71 to 80, 81 through 90, 91 through 100. I'm not going to do the Western. It works the exact same way, okay? You can go through the exact same intervals. You're going to end up with, here is the first one will have a 1, a 2, it's in the book, a 5, a 20, 27, 3, 20, 27, 3. I'm going to let you graph this. These are not hard. It's the same intervals. Just go to 1, to all that, and you do that blocking. So again, not a hard subchapter. A little bit of writing, but not a lot of work. And that's it. We're done with chapter 7, and we are done for the year. You're going to go into your winter break. Yay! Happy homework.